Hey guys, it is I, Sir Review, coming to you with my first video game review. But before we get into it, I just want to say I am so sorry for those of you who have been waiting for me to make a new video because I have been very preoccupied with all this new summer stuff. I mean, even though it's summer break, I still have a lot of stuff to do, and it really puts a lot of stress on me, so I haven't been able to make a lot of videos. Sorry for a lot of my live streams, losing connection really fast. I'm trying my best to fix that, and hopefully I'll be able to do actual recording rather than doing live streams, and that might be a little better. I'm also sorry about the lighting right now. It's not the best lighting to have right now, but I mean, it's 6 o'clock over here, so the sun is directly shining through my window, but whatever the case, the review must go on. And today is my first video game review. I've been having a lot of thoughts of what I should review. I've put to consideration of Destiny and celebration for Destiny 2. I've been thinking Injustice 2, be happy for Injustice 2. I've been even thinking stuff like Mortal Kombat or other games, like even certain Lego games, like Lego Dimensions, which is my favorite Lego game. But I decided, because there's the one game I am mostly excited for this year, and that is Battlefront 2 EA. I've been watching the gameplay trailer and the original trailer for that game. It is mind-blowing to me. I am so excited for this game, but I'm also very nervous because, I want to know, will EA and DICE learn from their mistake in this game? Yes, I had this game, Battlefront EA. Now, before I get to the actual review, a lot of people might ask me, do you regret buying this game? No, I don't. It's actually a very fun game. I mean, sure, it's not very great. I mean, it has a lot of cons to it, trust me. But it also has some pros to it. And that's what I'm going to get into today. We're looking at the Battlefront EA review. And I'm going to discuss some of the pros, some of the cons, some of the things I think could have been added in, and some of the overall thoughts of it. So, what are my pros about the game? Well, it has some good pros to it. I mean, sure, it's not the greatest game ever for those of you who have played it, but one of the first pros for it is the graphics. I mean, that was one of the first things I noticed while playing this game. I looked at this game when I first started playing it. I went to Hoth to play as Darth Vader for this tutorial thing that it did while it was loading the game itself, and I was just stunned at how good the graphics were. I mean, I was playing Darth Vader, and even then I was super excited because I was like, this is Darth Vader, one of my favorite villains of all time, and he is literally going at it. I'm just playing as him and just demolishing all the rebel scum, and it was really fun. And I was thinking, oh boy, I can't wait to play this game. And now some of the cons I will get into later, including no story mode. I was kind of disappointed about that. But some more pros. Yeah, the graphics are really good. I love the blast marks that you leave when you shoot the guns, the footprints you leave behind in the snow, all of the cool characters. The AI is actually quite impressive. It's actually really well done, which is another pro about the game. The AI is really good. They actually make it very difficult in the hard difficulty and the extreme difficulty. I can barely even make it through the hard difficulty. It's so hard. The only level I can do hard difficulty is survival on Hoth. But that's only because I'm in a small base where there's not a lot of open spaces for people to shoot me. So and I have a lot of cover. So I pretty much cheat my way through that one. And another pro I have about this game is the cool weaponry. I mean, there's not a lot of weaponry, but they are actually really cool. They have the actual rebel blasters. They have the actual guns that the stormtroopers use in the movies. It's really cool. I am really disappointed with how you can only play as the rebels in survival and not the Empire, which would have been a really cool twist to it. But hey, in this new Battlefront movie, the new Battlefront game, they're putting a new move to it. They're putting a twist on it by making the Empire as the main characters in the story, and you're playing as the Empire in the new Battlefront 2, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of pros to the game. I won't be able to list all of them because there are quite a few, but those were my main pros. Now to get to the cons, which are one of the things I really need to talk about in this game, because there are quite a few cons. The first con that I have about the game that I brought it up earlier was the lack of story. There's no story whatsoever. There's not a story in this game. So, sure, some of the survivals do have like a cutscene or two, but it's not a story at all. It's just someone, getting something or doing something, and you just go, okay, we got to get out of here. And then General Akbar calls in saying, oh, we can't pick you up yet. I mean, sure, we can't be bothered to just swoop in and just guns a-blazing and just pick up 2 people. It's not like you're picking up an entire fleet, you guys. I mean, come on. That was one of my main cons about the game, was the lack of story. It was really disappointing because I was super excited. Playing as Darth Vader in the tutorial was really exciting for me. I was looking forward to like playing a storyline where I'm like, oh, I get to play as Luke Skywalker maybe, or maybe Han Solo, or maybe like this unknown rebel soldier. But instead we get this very just drowned out thing in this survival modes where I'm like, are these supposed to be like a line of story? Because they're just cutscenes before a level. It makes no sense. Another con about the game is the different multiplayer levels. A lot of these multiplayer levels aren't very fun. They don't really have a Star Wars feel to it. The only 2 ones that have a true Star Wars feel are Walker Assault and Fighter Squadron. Those are like the only 2 multiplayer levels that actually have a really like good Star Wars feel, which was another pro I had. One of my other pros was how good of a feel this gave you. I mean, it made you feel like you were actually in Star Wars, which was really cool. Although that effect does slightly wear off the more you play the game. Now it just feels like another fun level you're playing. Another con of the game was the lack of creativity in basically just overall in the game. And I mean, having a season pass, having all these add-ons, it just doesn't really make up much for no story and like the lack of uses in weaponry. I mean, sure, the weapons are fun, which was one of my cons, but there aren't a lot of them, and you don't use a lot of vehicles. And it does seem like each level you play for the multiplayer, each mode in multiplayer has one side typically winning. In Walker Assault, you usually had the Empire winning. Why? Because a lot of the vehicles go to the Empire. You have the AT-ATs, you have the AT-STs, you have the TIE Fighters, you have those big cannons that you use. And all the rebels get are the speeder bikes on Endor, which apparently the Empire can use as well. So basically, all the rebels do have in Walker Assault are the A-Wings and the X-Wings. Now, in Fighter Squadron, of course, the rebels have the upper hand in that one, because, I mean, their Fighter Squadron is, very powerful, but it's just so one-sided. It's so clear that the rebels will win that one and the Empire will win Walker Assault. So it's not really fair. And another thing, the servers, they never seem to respond very well. And it doesn't tell you servers shut down, we're reconnecting. It never does that. You know what it does? It lets you continue to play the game, but instead it always sends you back to where you were a couple of seconds ago, and then you have to keep going, and it sends you back another couple of seconds. And it's really annoying, and it does that with everyone else, so you can't shoot someone without them getting teleported away or something. It is very, very difficult to actually stay focused on someone if you can't even see them. Now, the controls are really fun in the game. It's very responsive, which is what you would expect in a game. The weapons are still fun to use. And another con I had about the game is how they keep adding in the heroes in the game. The heroes they have at first were really good. For the Empire, they had Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, and Boba Fett, which was really fun because I enjoyed playing as them. And for the Rebels, they had Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, which was also fun. But then as you get more of those add-ons, they would add in heroes. Half of them I could barely remember until I actually saw their face. But once I heard their name, I'd be like, who is that? And then I would see their face. And I'm like, are you serious? You're adding them as a hero? I mean, sure, I would understand if Lando Calrissian was a hero in there, but where's Chewie? Where's Kylo Ren? Where's Rey? I mean, sure, this is mostly in the Empire wars, but it would still be very fun to actually play as Kylo Ren or Rey during this game. And instead, we get a lot of other bounty hunters and some rebel pilots that I barely even recognize. And it's just super confusing, and I don't understand. And one of the biggest cons I have about this game is the stupid season pass. I don't get why they had it in there. I will probably never understand why they had it in there. It was pretty much useless to begin with. It just adds in new maps that are super small and only have certain kinds of levels that are very difficult to actually play. Sure, they added in Death Star, which was technically considered a space battle, but even then, it didn't have that space battle feel to it. Now, the original Battlefront 2 did have a good Star Wars feel to it when it came to space battles. Why? Because you were actually flying in freaking space. You were literally flying around in in space. You could invade the enemy's main jump ships and actually take it over and destroy it. That's what a space battle is. Instead, you're just flying right above the Death Star, which is fun, but it doesn't give you that true space battle feel, which is something I was really looking forward to in the game. So yeah, that's pretty much Battlefront EA. And I got the deluxe edition when last Christmas, which I mean it came with some different it came with its own characters, and it also came with some add-ons. Some of those add-ons you would have to buy, but here it says you would get them for free. You would get the DL-44, which is Han Solo's blaster, the ion grenade, the ion torpedo, the ion shock emote, and the victory emote. The emotes are fun. I would still prefer the Destiny emotes over that, because the Destiny emotes actually fit in with what the game has. I mean, emotes don't truly fit in with Star Wars very much. But yeah, I am really saying I'm really a lot of crap about this game, but to be honest, I think it's a decent game. And my score for this game, I would give 6 stars. Mainly because I would have given it 7 stars if it had at least some point of story mode. I mean, at least Destiny barely had a story mode, but at least it had a story mode. This game only had cutscenes at the beginning of some of its survival modes, and even then, I would get confused, saying, "Is this a story or is this just another cutscene?" I didn't know, but yeah, I gave it, and what kept it from getting 5 stars were the amazing graphics and the good sensitivity of the game. It was real. It gave you that good Star Wars feel at first, but then after a while, it would kind of lose its lose its feel in a sense. So yeah, that was my review for Battlefront EA. I will be coming out with plenty more reviews soon, especially some movie reviews. I recently watched Transformers: The Last Night with my friend Caleb, and it was bad. You can go to his channel and watch that review and see us rage on about that movie, and I will be making some new movie reviews. I'm planning on reviewing one of my favorite movies of all time, but I have to choose which one. I don't necessarily want it to be my number 1 favorite movie of all time, because I'm waiting to save that for a special time, for those of you who do know what that movie is, and I don't want it to be like some other movie that just comes out of the blue. I want it to be in celebration for either a movie coming out or have good purpose for it. So yeah, I will be coming out with plenty of reviews. Be sure to go to Caleb's channel and watch our Transformers: The Last Night review. And I will be coming out with plenty more reviews. I will be coming out with my next video game review will be for Destiny, in celebration for Destiny 2. So thanks you guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and tell your friends. Peace out.